Welcome back into the Sports Source, rejoined by former Vol offensive lineman Jacob Gillum, former Vol defensive lineman Daniel Hood. You guys both played under Butch Jones. Jacob, you played there last year. Yeah. A lot of coaches give lip service to discipline, to academics. Tell me about Butch Jones. Is it real? Because a lot of people out there, when you hear it, you roll your eyes. Is the dedication to discipline and academics and that kind of stuff as real as it seems?
It is, and it's everything you'd crack up to be. And you know, as I was telling you off air, you know, the best example of it is, you know, Coach Jones was, I think, one of the only coaches to lead the conference in GPA and win a conference championship. And I can tell you how he did it, because we had a guy on the team that had missed 2 classes. And the first one, you know, you get the slap on the wrist, don't do it again. Well, the second time he missed one. And so instead of just punishing the one guy, he brings in that guy's entire position group. And for 2.5 hours, he had to read, you know, the Thornton Center's leadership roles to the other tight ends. And every 5 seconds, they had to stand up and sit down. And it was just
for 2.5 hours?
2.5 hours. They got so tired by the end of it, they actually got to where they couldn't stand up, so they had to just roll over from front to back. And it's just, you know, that's
Did that fella miss another class?
No, he never missed another class.
No one ever missed another class.
I guess not. So in other words, the lines about getting to class, about getting those GPAs up, but also the off-field discipline. Every school's going to have issues. I mean, you've got 100 guys over there. You got most of them that top out at 21, 22 years old. You're going to have some folks that get in trouble. We know there have been some issues at Tennessee. But in terms of the off-field discipline, serious about that as well?
Yeah, the off-field discipline, you know, when you're not on the field, you know, you're still representing Tennessee in a pretty large capacity. You know, me and Daniel are, you know, 300-plus pound guys, and we walk into a restaurant, everybody looks at us, and everybody knows who we are. And if you're not a lineman and you're a DB or something, no one's normally that muscular or looks that fast. So everyone knows who you are, they recognize you, and so there's just that much more of a magnifying glass on you, especially with social media nowadays.
Yeah.
Everybody's, you know, just constantly critiquing everything you do. So coach has to, you know, really up the discipline when players mess up, because it has to be a lesson for the rest of the guys not to do the same thing.
One thing you're hearing right now is a lot of the players are taking some of this. The coaches do that. They handle discipline their own way, and then the players get involved. If guys walk onto the practice field, you've now got some veterans that say, no, you run onto this practice field. Talk to me. We'll start with you, but you know some of these guys as well. Team leadership this year. Do you have the right guys, and do you have enough team leaders at this point?
You definitely do. In my opinion, you don't need, you know, 6, 7 team leaders. You need, you know, one guy on offense, one guy on defense. So the guy on defense is Kurt Maggitt. A lot of people say Cam Sutton, but Kurt Maggitt's the leader of the defense. Everybody does what he says, as a team for that matter. And then on offense, you have Josh Dobbs leading the way. He's a quarterback. He's a traditional leader. He knows what he's doing. But just a small instance of player-enforced discipline, like Hood knows, the T in the locker room, sacred. Nobody steps on it, no one steps over it. So there was a couple freshmen, you know, so far in the summer who have tried to step over it, and they got the normal punishment of push-ups. But secondary offenses were much, much worse.
That's what I call him the code red. You played with both Josh Dobbs and Kurt Maggitt. When we were talking about leadership in between the break, you immediately went, Kurt Maggitt, that's all you need.
That's all you need, because he literally does everything for you. And the thing that you got to have with a good leader is he does everything on and off the field the right way, and guys naturally flock to him. And, you know, as a coach in high school, too, the thing we want is it's got to be a player-led team. Because if it's a player-led team, you don't have to worry about any of the off-field issues. You know, as coaches, we can't be out there all the time, so I got to trust Kurt Maggitt to take care of everything, and Kurt does.
Good deal, guys. When we come back, these guys are here. All the rest of the VFLs come out. We're going to talk about expectations, where you should expect to see them set for this year, where you should set them, something like that. We'll do something with expectations. Coming back on the Sports Source.